That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me fuck all that shit, just let me go.
Yeah, I'm fucking live part of Europe. Voice crack.
Like a fucking pacemaker. Cut the middleman and inhale the vapors, man.
Why do you care from early?
10 times vapors. Cut the jukebox on, make the woofers blow.
Here for BS? Good, I'll give you BS.
We are early.
On time. 10 minutes early. This is formation. 10 minutes early. Soldier I've had a lot of time to think about the military lately.
Yeah.
I don't miss the bullshit. Tommy, I have so many issues with the Repzilla video. Okay, I'll check that out later.
Oh, you've been thinking about the military because you got destroyed on Twitter by a veteran?
Yes. You hear what I did before?
Yeah.
Well, there was the frat boy comment, like, you know, Blizzard sued because of frat boy environment. I'm like, oh, that's funny. So I'll retweet it, you know, for all my new fans. And I got a lot of ladies that aren't happy with me. So I retweeted it and said, frats are fun, girls ruin everything. And then Ricky and Ace Trainer Liam was like, you know, somebody committed suicide over it. I was like, first I was going to be real indignant about it, but I was like, you know what? Well, like, I think we talked about it yesterday and I forgot. Because as soon as they said something, I reminded. But when I actually retweeted it or quote tweeted it, I honestly didn't remember. I mean, I don't know. It's a little more in a frat boy environment. If, you know, people are off on themselves. And, you know, these are just allegations. And the reason I would say the quasi-right side of YouTube, the gamer side of YouTube, is like, because they hate Blizzard and because they're a bunch of progressive assholes.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only reason.
It's just a tricky situation because we haven't heard both sides yet.
Yeah, you got to hear. Like, the allegation is in the evidence. Ladies! Even one of my fans who I generally trust said something. It's been a weird week with women. I was at Gordy's. I was at Gordy's for the first time in like 10 months. And he's always got you know, light looking girls in their 20s working there. Mm-hmm. Like, God, I don't hit on any of them. And then yeah, I'll tell you what happened. So it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm with somebody I know, his date, one of the waitresses. And it comes up, she goes, you know, I really don't know if I don't want to give this away. Because I don't want, well, I don't really know if I'm Croatian or I'm German or I'm English, Scottish. I really don't know. Like, what else? She's like, what am I? I'm like, well, in the States, you'd be American, you know? And she says, yeah. I was like, well, where'd you grow up? And she goes, here, but whatever she said. I don't know. I'm not quite sure if you had her. Okay, so what's your father's last name then? I go, that's how we'll do this. And it's gonna, whatever it was. So they told me the last name. I'm like, so what, is Gordy your uncle? And she looks at me and she goes, no, it's my dad. I'm like,
Yikes.
I thought she was about 23 years old. It's my daughter's playmate from like years ago. They're only a year apart. She wasn't dressed like a kid and she was working behind a bar. You can work behind a bar over here at 14, you know?
14?
She looks like a grown woman. What?
Germans are weird.
Is that for me?
14
that's for, no. What is that for? Let me see.
Pinata.
Oh, this is my son's pinata. It's like he's into pirates. So they're going to hit the penny. What of this is because we missed the birthday in February?
Yeah.
Okay.
Birthday party.
Nice. Yeah. God, I asked. I didn't ask. I didn't do anything.
I'm not saying you did. It's weird that
the man is like, I gotta ask. I had no idea. What it was is she's dressed very professionally. I mean, she's dressed like my wife for work, you know.
Right.
And no, you know, I said to her, I was like, maybe you should just get some braces and like do us all fair, right? You know.
If you say so, yeah, I guess.
But my teeth are straight. I don't know. She didn't say. That's what I was thinking. Just get braces when you're like, you have to. If you're a girl, you have to be braces at 14 or something. So, Jesus, shocking. I go. She was like, "What's the big deal?" She's like, "People grow up or whatever." And I'm like, I go, "I'm sorry. My mind is your playing with my little girl." She goes, "I remember her." You know what she did to my little girl? I mean, she was little too.
Yeah. What?
I guess my daughter was being like a little annoying. It was kind of cruel what they did to her. And she had just got a puppy. This is years ago. And she was asking to see it. And then she drew a picture of a dog and said, "My puppy," and handed it to my daughter. And she ran out of there crying. It was so cruel. I'm not mad at the girl. It was just, that's what kids do. Kids are mean. Yeah. So the thing is, kids are mean, but it is kind of funny when they do cruel stuff like that. But now she's in high school, and the son was like 6 foot. He's got to be 6'5", 6'4", 6'5". Well, he's just a beast. Yeah, we'll be going over Onion Boy and all that. Don't worry about it. He beat the like. None of this is a surprise. Can you send me that thing? I think it's. None of this is a surprise.
Yeah. Sure.
We'll go over Repzilla too, because the pregnant lady asked us to. Yeah.
Nick's. I sent you Nick's tweet of the statement.
Yeah, I'll take a look at this. My son had a nightmare or whatever, and he climbed in bed with us and kicked me the whole night. And this is the reason I can't wait to go to bed. New Onision police reports released, and this is from freaking June of last year and September 2019. 2019, Pierce Curry County Sheriff's Department received information regarding a possible sexual exploitation crimes at the residence of Gig Harbor. At the time of the initial complaints, there was very little information, but the alleged crimes had no first-hand reports from any alleged victims. The complaints were centered around YouTube content creator James Jackson, aka Greg Avero. I never even heard that one. Who's known as YouTube's YouTube username Onision. The original allegations were documented under whatever number and cleared with no evidence of criminal activity. And if you see on top of the synopsis, the allegations of sexual assault investigated, no evidence came. And, you know, we said that. I literally lost my channel over it, being honest. I literally lost my channel because I said nothing was here. Following documentation under previous cases, case number, the Pierce County Sheriff received over 40 additional emails regarding the similar allegations from third-party reporters who had heard the allegations of social media accounts. In addition, numerous other social media content creators developed channels and content directly related to the allegations in an attempt to conduct their own, quote, big quote, online investigation as to what might have occurred. On 10/02/19, PCSD received a press inquiry from a reporter with Vox Media named, oh, that's interesting, Malika Kelly. Do we know her?
Sure.
Kelly reported that she spent some time speaking to another woman who alleged Jackson had, quote, groomed them and are concerned and coerced them to having intercourse. Kelly went on to say many of these girls were only 14 to 16 at the time of the allegations. Kelly requested confirmation that an investigation had been started and provided her contact information. I later contacted Kelly by telephone and advised her PCSD that they had received allegations from multiple third parties. This is why you got, when you get multiple people, it doesn't mean shit anymore in the world of social media. You know, like a really famous person, they got 100 people against them. Yeah, really? 90% of them are social media. Can't even substantiate whether they're in the same room together. Let's see. Multiple third parties who claim to be a victim of the crime. I encouraged her to pass on the contact information along to the women she had spoken to, so they would contact me if they want to report a crime in PCSD jurisdiction. I was not contacted by anyone else as a result of my conversation with Kelly. In January 2020, I became aware of a, quote, media investigation into the allegations against Jackson, which have been conducted by Chris Hansen and his YouTube channel, Have a Seat with Chris Hansen. Hansen is a well-known media personality who's focused on stories on accused sex offenders and child predators. As a part of the reporting, Hansen attempted to contact Johnson residents in Gig Harbor on 10920, which resulted in Jackson calling 911. Deputies responded. And Hansen and his crew ultimately left the location without speaking to Jackson. Hansen subsequently released a series of interviews with alleged victims and others with information about the crimes in his YouTube channel over the next several months. In addition, Hansen contacted PCSD and completed an interview with PIO Troyer, that's the guy who's like being sued for $5 million because some black guy tried to deliver a package in his neighborhood. Was that it? What was it? What did he go after that black guy for?
Yeah, the guy was trying to deliver. I think he was delivering either mail or something, and the guy called the cops on him.
You're lucky, mein Freund. You're fucked right in the middle of the damn riots and shit too. I requested that PIO Troyer.
He's a newspaper. He's a newspaper guy.
Yeah, through PIO Troyer and Hansen provide the PCSD with the list of alleged victims that they could contact with interviews to determine the existence of the extent of the criminal activity that occurred in PCSD jurisdiction. On February 6, 2020, received a list which first contained the name of the phone number of 7 alleged victims who appeared on Hansen's show, including a victim. I'm not going to say her name. Actually lists all the victims. There's no reason to say that. Most of you guys know them anyway. The list contained, well, Sarah we have to talk about, who I was later able to identify as Sarah Blank. In the follow PIO Troyer's interview with Hansen, I learned the FBI had also, this surprised me. This honestly surprised me that they even looked at this at all. I learned the FBI also received numerous emails regarding the allegations. Third parties. I contacted FBI Special Agent Mendoza. That's something we got. Now we got a name, and now we can start pressuring the FBI. And I don't know if we can do a freedom of information, but I wonder if we could just ask Mr. Mendoza if the case is still open. Agent Mendoza.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Now we got a name. By telephone after learning she was assigned to the now we know it's female. Let's see. She was assigned to the case for further investigation. Well, no wonder she botched it. This girl. S.A. Mendoza confirmed the FBI had received a larger number of tips. I want to dig into any people that are hate watching me right now. I'm just going to turn the screws until I get fucking canceled. Somebody said to me, what did he say? No one recovers from this. I'm like, watch me. Similar to what PCSD had received, but had not been able to establish that a crime had occurred. S.A. Mendoza told me the FBI had spoken with Blank, but they had not been able to establish a sex crime had been occurred on that interview. S.A. Mendoza told me that she had reported a nude and or explicit photographs that had been sent between Blank and Jackson while still a minor child. S.A. Mendoza said the computer belonging to Blank had been turned over to the FBI. Well, I guess it got there eventually for examination for any evidence to support the claim. The decision would be made on how the FBI would proceed. As Mendoza provided me with Blank's contact information, a full full name for the investigation. I attempted to contact each of the victims by telephone and left voicemails requesting them to call me back to file a police report. The only one that returned my call was blank. So, for anybody that is just stupid enough to believe the FBI, by the way, this thing was closed on the 6th of June of last year. Not this year, last year. So when we were still talking about this, and I want to know when Troyer went on the Onision show, how come he didn't let everybody know the case got closed? You know, Chris Hansen can say he didn't know the case got closed, but Troyer didn't? Troyer seems like a media fucking hog. He just wants to see his name in the lights. So he went on the Onision documentary and just, whoops, neglected to mention that his own police department closed the case. Unbelievable. No, not really. And the people that are supposedly getting nudes from Onision, between Blank and Jackson. So that's more than likely his wife or husband. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, I don't care. It's on them. So they didn't get back to them. So the FBI, do you really think the FBI is still actively searching this? They're telling, yeah, we got the same complaints as you. We couldn't put 2 and 2 together, just the same as you. And the only thing we have different is this picture. And when the people, think about this. The only one that contacted the local police department after she got this information, the FBI, was more than likely, was one of the alleged victims. And they still closed the case. So what do you think the FBI has done since then? They closed it too. Or they left it open and haven't done a damn thing with it. So I got that jackass anonymous Gene yelling at me. He goes, did you see that? It was still open. This is 13 months ago. This was written 13 months ago. There's nothing here. There never was. Onision is just a creep. Do I think it was right for him to sleep with those girls? No. But it's not a crime to sleep with 18-year-old girls. And by the looks of this, the girls, as much as they cooperated with the investigation, boy, it seems to be so much easier to sit there and bitch to Chris Hansen and go on social media than it is to talk to the cops. And you know what? If you're not willing to talk to the cops and you're willing to make a big scene on social media, you know, why should I believe you? And then when things really got turned up and Discovery Channel took interest in it, they all dipped out of that one too. I don't believe any of them. Horse shit, as usual. There's nothing here. Even if he did something, and by the way, I could believe he did. Guy's creepy. But you can't go to jail for a bad feeling. And Onision just sue the shit. If he had any money, fucking... He'd own, Chris Hansen would be one of the many people that owe him money.
You know who the biggest piece of shit in this whole situation is?
Troyer.
No, actually. It's Shiloh. It's undoubtedly Shiloh.
Why?
So Sarah's the only one who went to the police department, right?
Yeah, he hung her out.
So Shiloh couldn't even, like, contact them. Not even, like, she told everybody that she wasn't going to do the documentary because she was going to stand by the girls. And she had already filmed, but she didn't go to the police.
We all knew that she was a garbage can when she went after you.
Oh, but this is next level. Yeah. Like, what kind of piece of shit tells all the other girls you're not going to do a television show documentary, right? Yeah. And then we find out she didn't even engage with the police officer's investigation.
I got another.
And then does the fucking TV show,
sure,
and gets her hair done and her makeup.
Sure. You know, there's another rational reason the girls didn't work with the police. You know that, right? What it might be?
What?
They're all lying.
Possible.
That's not out of the realm of possibility. They went on social media. They told their stories. They worked with Hansen. They didn't go on TV when they had the opportunity. They told people they didn't want their story out there, and they didn't work with the cops privately. You can come that is circumstantial evidence that you don't want to be under oath with this shit.
You have one girl who went to the police, and if we go all the way back to February of 2019, 2020, I'm sorry, Sarah was the only one who felt like, all right, like, I understand, like, out of all the people I interacted with, like Shiloh, Sarah, and a few others, she was the only one that felt like, all right, like, this person seems like they're serious. Like, the reaction that Shiloh had to threaten to dox and harass people and shit like that, and say, like, if my fucking father was alive, you'd be fucked or whatever, or you should just kill yourself because you're arguing with me online and shit like that. Like, it just seemed like a really big overreaction to such a minute question when people were asking, like, hey, Shiloh, what happened to the rest of that money that you were supposed to give to some of those girls because you did like a GoFundMe to get a tattoo removed? Or like, hey, Shiloh, I noticed you like dropped an album after you came back like a month later after you came on Chris Hansen's show. Or like, hey, Shiloh, I heard you weren't going to do that documentary, but you did that documentary. Look, I'm not calling anyone a liar or commenting on their story in any capacity. But what I am going to say is I pegged that girl from day one that she's a piece of shit. The only reason I covered any of this is because I knew that girl was a piece of shit. And it feels really good sitting here a full year and a half later while I can watch it just explode and everyone find out that that girl's a piece of shit. So,
I'll go one step further. I am very suspicious of any of them are telling me.
Oh, this must be really hard on Deity. I agree. Oh, God. Yeah, poor Deity. He hinged the last year and a half of content on the fact that Shiloh is the victim. Wow. Oh, God. Imagine how bad Sarah must feel that Shiloh didn't even talk to the police.
Well, the FBI still looking into it, so don't count your chickens before they hatched, you greaseball.
Yeah, Agent fucking Mendoza's like really.
Yeah, let's find out. Let's get a hold of Agent Mendoza.
Now, did you get to the timestamps? Like this documentary, like this piece of information here that was brought up happens in June, correct? Yeah. And then it appears that Shiloh is on set in July. I know
Troyer's on set.
What?
Troyer was on set, wasn't he?
No, I was getting there, but Hansen is definitely, he vlogs on set in August. So they're filming in August. I know Edwin was on set in either October or September for this December release. So like Ed Troyer, he might have been the only person who filmed before June, but honestly, I don't believe that. I honestly, I think it's more likely.
Oh, so we don't know 100%. So wait a minute, you're helping me out here. We don't know 100% if Troyer is filmed before June. We don't know.
I can't pin it 100%. I can tell you every other person on the cast that I know of filmed a month later.
So everybody else, and he filmed in June. Okay.
Well, we don't know if he filmed in June.
Yeah. Everybody else. But what I'm trying to say is, what are the odds that he didn't film after the case is already closed?
That he comes in and he's just like, wow, actually.
Well, this is like the least of his fucking problems.
That's a lot of money. I
guess, this is before he got his promotion. He was like the what is he, the spokesman of the police department? Yeah, and then after he was the spokesman, he got like upgraded to sheriff, and he gave a big, like, amazing speech about how he's going to bring the community close together. And then 36 police officers worth of equipment got him like IDing a black man as like a person who threatened to kill him, when in reality it was a newspaper delivery man. So really bringing the community closer together, one racial profile at a time.
Here, she and Kaya traveled to New Mexico, so she and Jackson were alone in the house for the first time. She told me that Jackson engaged sexual intercourse during the trip and admitted that it had been consensual. Case closed.
The last paragraph is pretty fucking
this is really the end. I have not heard back from any of the other women who are the alleged victims of Jackson. All of the women have been in contact with Chris Hansen at some point due to the media interview and have had the opportunity to file the report if warranted. That is her being, whoever wrote this is suspicious. Because she sits there, look, listen to the sentence again. I've not heard back from the women. Alleged victims, the alleged victims of Jackson. All of the women in contact with Chris Hansen, she makes it a point to put Hansen at some point to do with the media interview, had an opportunity to file a police report if warranted. So she's making it known that they would rather speak the media figure than somebody that actually can do something about this. They're making it a point. Blank was willing to participate in sexual activity after the age of consent. In fact, after turning 18 years old and was not under the legal care or custody of Jackson or Clyde. Didn't we hear a million times that they adopted her?
That's the other thing that was really fucking big to me is the police report publicly says there was no legal thing. She ran away. And that's like one of the most big misconceptions I've ever heard.
Yeah. Based on the information gathered during the investigation, I have not been able to establish that a crime occurred. The report is for informational purposes due to the high volume of third-party social media interest, and that's the only reason they looked into this to start with.
Like, who the fuck said that?
It's the only reason. It's the only reason Boogie's probably going to go to jail.
Oh my god! You know what I just realized?
Yeah,
dude, Onision probably signed a piece of paper he printed off of Google saying that she was Sarah. He was Sarah's legal guardian, and people just probably ran with it because that's what he did with the fucking NDA. He just downloaded something off of Google, and everyone just ran with that.
Are these calls funny?
Guy.
Wait, what?
What is this? Good stuff.
Communications. How can I help you?
Oh, you have to let this one play out.
Yeah.
Don't like lose this one too quickly. I promise it's worth it.
Okay.
Okay.
15.
Communications. How can I help you? Hello.
I am holding my wife hostage along with other people.
This is
Hello. Hello.
Call it 911. This is how crazy they are. This is SWAT.
I am it.
They're not even trying to act. I'm ashamed.
Oh no, they will.
They're using text to speech, Tommy.
Oh, okay. That way they can't get them on thing. Oh, I see.
How ridiculous that is. They're using text to speech.
I hope this gets good soon.
Hello.
You have to let it play. You gotta let it go.
You gotta let it go. Can't skip
Hello.
this one, huh? Too bad. Call 2. Joe's Pizza.
This is god. This is that's good.
Pick up the fucking phone.
Now the guy's getting scared. Now he's getting scared because they're calling
Text now subscriber you were trying to reach is not available.
Sounds like Chris Hansen.
The Text now subscriber.
Text
Keep it
now.
going.
Oh yeah.
Please leave your message after the tone.
Hi, I'm Chris Hansen.
Yeah. Obviously now this means there has to be a third call because the police are going to follow up.
Hello. I'm calling here to report the situation. Hello? Yes, you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you. You just called and you used a robotic female's voice. What are you trying to report?
Well, I have currently 2 hostages in my home.
That doesn't sound like Onision.
Okay, what is your name?
Ray-lej3nd.
Spell that, please.
G-R-E-G-O-R-Y.
Probably had to look at it. My name is Gregory, man.
Why are you calling on the non-emergency line?
It's a fake call.
I don't want to do it on a normal line, and on top of that, I ran out of data on my phone.
Okay, you can still call 911 if you don't have data. So why are you calling on the non-emergency line? Because if you didn't have data, you wouldn't be able to call us on the non-emergency line. You'd only be able to call out onto 911.
I see.
No, I'm using app on my phone.
Okay, so where are you calling from?
I'm calling from my home while I'm holding my wife hostage.
What is your address?
Hold on, let me check it. Hold on, let me check.
Okay, call back.
Hold on, let me check Kiwi for her.
Where's your wife at?
I don't know.
Currently in the living room. I have her hostage along with the kids.
How old are your kids?
5 to 10.
I don't know. For all you parents out there, you know the numbers of your fucking kids. You know their ages. It's kind of like easy. 5, like we just read an article. Onision has in children aged 5 through 10. It's fucking funny. Oh boy.
How many kids do you have?
2.
How old are they?
Yeah, Onision has 3 kids, right?
No, 2, I think.
He's 2? Okay.
Yes, 2.
One's 5, one's 10.
Okay, so one is 5 and one is 10. You said 5 to 10. So
Yeah,
are they
exactly.
males or
5
females?
to, yeah, 5 to 10 would mean
Yeah, 5.
it's more than 2 children.
One's female, one's male.
I threw one of them out the window once.
Listen here,
One is
okay?
which?
I want $10 million right now. I want $10 million.
Okay,
And a
is the
helicopter.
5-year-old a male or a female?
It's so funny. This operator's great. He's like, I don't buy this bullshit. She's like going through the motions just in case it's real. It's so obvious. I don't think she believes.
No, she's not going through the motions. No, she's definitely not. Just keep like you.
Really?
It's about to like, yeah.
The 5-year-old is the male.
What's your wife's name?
Melissa. I mean,
Listen to
my husband's name is
Why are you
Kai.
asking questions? Did I just tell you what I am trying to get here?
She's gonna argue with the
Because that's
fucking
my
guy.
job.
That's so
What's your
funny.
wife's name?
Oh, this is funny.
Listen here, okay? I want you to listen carefully, alright? My wife's name is Shiloh, okay?
That's not your wife's name.
Now, listen here, okay? Launch situation. If I do not get $10 million, I will shoot all of the fucking hostages.
All the fucking.
Okay, sir, we have priors for that address. That's not your wife's name.
You sure?
Can you tell me her real name?
You better hang up now. This guy's still with us? Yeah, he's gone.
Yes, he is.
Wait, call number 4.
Police and Sheriff Communications, how can I help you?
Okay, so I just called here previously.
Well, these people are cruising for a bruising, as my grandmother used to say.
Hello?
Okay, how can I help you?
I just killed my whole family.
Yeah, so I have hostages.
You have hostages? At what address?
Yours, bitch.
At same day compound.
What's your name?
Miguel.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie here. I invaded the home and I have them hostage. I previously said my name is Gregory Jackson. That's a lie. I just invaded the home. I just burglarized the home and I have them hostage right now.
Okay, why would you do that?
I want the money.
Well, I just wanted money. I'm desperate, man. And since this man's life right now, who I invaded his home, since this man's life is slowly falling down anyway, might as well feel he has.
What are you armed with?
I'm armed with a long riot. I'm armed with a long arm rifle. I'm sorry, I haven't gotten my fix with my drug yet. So I'm a little bit woozy. I said I haven't gotten my heroin yet, so I'm a little bit going through a little bit of a withdrawal right now.
So what is your
I didn't hear that
actual
part
name?
before.
My name?
Right, what's your name?
Mohammed Ibrahim Sullivan.
How many people are you holding hostage?
It's like I have kids. I think some of them are hiding in the house trying to hide from me. But I have a kid hostage and I have a adult male and I have a female hostage.
This is great.
I really scoped this place out. I thought they weren't going to be home. I figured he was...
Now, I thought he was going... Yeah, I'm starting to hear him lose his accent, too. Yeah, I thought he was going for like a Hispanic thing, but he's obviously... He was going for a vault.
Sure. Yeah.
Was in a hotel or something, so I just scoped it out. But then I realized fucking Christians did not want to fucking go there. So, anything that fucking house held up. I was trying to rob him, goddammit. Fucking dumbass motherfucker that was there.
Okay. So what is it that you're
how
wanting?
Are we gonna do this?
What is it you're wanting?
I don't know what I want. Fuck, man. I want $10 million really bad.
When was this? This is early January 2020.
You want $3 million?
Yeah.
10 million. I know you guys damn well aren't going to give it to me. Like, obviously, I'm not fucking
That's a lot of money,
you guys aren't going to give it to me, you know what I mean?
Onision sounds like most people kid bong messes.
So how are we going to resolve this?
Probably me and fucking handcuffs are dead on the floor.
Jesus, this guy doesn't care about those kids at all.
What is your ultimate goal here?
Well, I really want that $10 million that you're obviously
I really want that $10 million.
It's like it's getting to the point where he's like, "Look, can you just come?"
Yeah, right.
Just come.
Well, he goes, well, what's your ultimate goal here? Well, I'd like the 10 million. I mean, ultimately, but it might be unreasonable.
You know, you could say this guy's a swatter. You could say that he's like, I don't know, fucking an armed robber, but at least he's like, you know, funny. Fair, right?
Look, you'll probably have to kill me, but if you want to give me the $10 million, I'd be pretty happy to take it and go to Switzerland. That was fucking funny, man. That was real funny.
He's been deemed credible.
Yeah. I was hysterical.
What are the people's name that you're with?
I know the guy's name. I don't know the wife's name. I don't know her name, but I know the guy's name.
Okay, what is her name or his name?
Gregory Jackson. He has multiple aliases, so like I think it's Gregory Jackson. I'm not so sure.
Why did you want to rob this house?
Because Repsion wasn't home.
Because he has a fucking YouTube channel with a couple of million subscribers, so I figured he had money.
I guess, for a person of color.
Worst Nigerian sprint scam ever. GG Evans. GG.
I see. How did you know where he lived?
Everybody talks to him.
Well, I found out where he lived. It was like I'm in the local area there, so I just figured out where he lived.
You're in the local what?
I'm in Gig Hall, but I live there. I'm fucking typing on a keyboard right now. I'm trying to see like his banking details.
I'm sorry, I'm typing on the keyboard.
You wouldn't have needed to break into the house to do that. What made you break into the house?
Well, why the fuck? I'm not so spooky.
Hippo Pro. The dispatcher's probably fine. A6 location.
Half a month? Like, what?
That sounds kind of funny.
And on top of that, he's a dumbass. He saved his fucking password on here. I'm looking at this right now. So, question.
What's the question?
How am I gonna get to my $10 million?
That's a good question.
Well, I don't have the ability to tell you that.
So, can I talk to a sergeant?
I can put in a request. Are you wanting him to call you?
Oh, please put him on hold and play funny music. Please. Please. Oh, that would be great.
Put him on hold and they play I'm a Banana.
Yeah. Put him on hold. Paul and Oates comes on. Fucking.
Nah, fuck that. Look here, alright. You got the 10 minutes. I don't see
That's a lot of money, I guess.
$10 million in 10 minutes. I will kill.
Worst criminal ever. Who tells their easel scheme to some random person on the phone? He sounds like like Black Onision. I don't know. I think he's trying to be an Arab.
Yeah, I definitely think this is some white kid who's socially awkward.
He's one by one.
Yeah. It's not even that funny.
Actually, every hour I'm going to be nice to you. Every hour I'm going to kill a hostage.
Every hour.
That's a lot of money, I guess, for a person.
What color is the house?
Sounds like more like a doctor's visit than 911 call, yeah.
It's like a green color. It's like a green color in the front.
Is it 1 or 2 stories?
2. Like
2 stories.
It's a green 2-story house?
And it has like the front windows up in the front door.
You know, it's funny. Like the guy is dumb. Like, is it like?
Do you get pussy?
Dude, I slay.
You only want to call the police and use TTS to say my name is Onision and I still haven't gotten my pizza delivery. Also, Nick should credit at Record Citizen on Twitter. Hear that?
Yeah, no fucking chance. Anytime a cocksucker puts their whole fucking username right across the screen on the shit people are trying to read, I'll fucking go into Acrobat and delete it. Suck my dick.
Well, there you go. There, I hope that's the shout out you wanted. I sub them right here.
And then the basement windows like slightly. You know what I'm saying?
And where in the house are you?
Whoever sees that, and they're like, oh, there it is, like good citizen.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow this person who's
God, I gotta stop everything and follow them. And then here's this like G they have on Twitter.
If I've ever put my information on anything, it's at like the bottom right hand corner. Like in like super small font.
Yeah. Like, God, you got to put that out there. Like it's his property. It's just a public release. You know?
Oh.
I'm in the living room.
You're in the living room?
Yes, I'm in the living room.
Is there anything else? I'm getting bored
Can you
now.
stop stalling me with this bullshit?
At the end,
Well,
it's kind of funny.
I mean, I don't know what else to do for you, sir.
Yeah, we're at the end. We're good.
Good.
Just finish it off. Yeah.
Well, how am I? What the fuck am I? What should I do in this situation yet? I came here. I got myself trapped in this fucking situation right now. I'm like, fuck me.
Is there a reason you can't just leave?
I don't know. Maybe we can knock that shit off and get the fuck out.
Well, then I'm gonna have fucking cops on my tail.
Yeah.
How do you figure?
Well, I don't know. You guys are on.
Hey, look, Klein, if you
That's a
don't
lot of
give
money, I
me
guess,
and
for a person
Ethan
of color.
$10 million, we kill the onion. I hope you like that.
Your way, aren't you?
I can't release any information.
Like, are you sending cops back?
I can't release that information.
Why?
I can't tell you anything, sir.
Fuck me. Just go look at the fucking scanner. Hold on.
Oh, wow. He dropped his accent. Sound a little more like a white boy there.
To make my life a lot fucking easier. But no. Now I have to go all the way over to the scanner. Fuck, I bought the scanner for a reason. God damn.
It's like if I get angry, maybe they'll come.
I would have been angrier from the start. Why not just go through the whole fucking act, you know?
Yeah.
I'd have my kid next to me, my
what was
wife
that?
next to me. I'd be like, okay, yell and scream.
Sorry.
I'm not fucking around!
Every hour I will kill a hostage.
That'd be a lot. You know, if you're gonna make a hostage call, have some fun with it. Get some friends involved.
Well, like even in the situation
I understand
where she was
the-
like,
Yeah.
Can you tell me what the house looks like? You should be like, I'm inside the house. How the fuck do I know what the house?
Yeah,
looks
well,
like?
actually, I think she's trying to trip him up. I don't think she believes. She clearly doesn't believe him. Yeah.
That's what you're
Oh,
telling
no,
us.
I'm saying for him.
Not fuck it, I don't care. I'm gonna just go kill the hostages.
Don't do that. Oh no.
I'm killing them right fucking now.
You wanna hear it? It's on you. Remember this the rest of your life. Pop, pop.
I'll let the officers know that that's what you're threatening.
He's gonna play a gunshot from Call of Duty. That'd be great if he did play the gunshot sound, and all of a sudden you hear the sound effects, like when you Kingslayer.
Double kill.
Double kill.
Overkill. Assassination.
Assassination. Yeah. That'd be great.
Alright. Bye, I'm fucking hanging up. I'm killing the hostages.
Oh, shut up. No, you're not.
Wait for the silence. Wait for the silence.
He got really mad at me.
That's too funny. He got really mad at me. Like, oh my god.
She should win an award.
Well, I guess from what I took from that, I don't know anything about hostage talking or anything. They teach them not to give them any kind of reaction one way or another.
Slay.
Probably for the Call of Duty don't want to. Oh shit, officer, we got a double kill at Onision's house. Double kill, Kingslayer.
We've got an extremely high KDA person. I think he's hacking.
He's hacking. Aimbot. Just that's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a bunch more calls, but the rest of them were like socially awkward people calling in.
Oh my god, they're just brutal. It's impossible.
Yeah.
There was one girl who was like, "Excuse me, so Onision released a book where he like talks about like school shootings, and I think he tied up his wife and is holding her hostage because she smoked weed."
It's 20 minutes to fucking Repzilla video. Get the Prego girl in here.
Hey, today we're gonna be watching.
That's a lot of money, I guess, for a person of color.
Pickle, get in here. Prickle, Susan. Your last plasma shootout. Yeah, your plasma shootout.
While you're teeing that up, have you heard anything really about the whole like the gambling situation where like
I saw them arguing last night. It was pretty funny.
Dude, I watched the whole thing through.
Yeah.
You know what the biggest problem with that debate was?
What's that? Nobody.
So Hassan just came in and virtue signaled the whole time. He was basically useless to the conversation.
Yeah.
Fucking XQC basically said nothing.
Nothing.
After
Made
the first
yelled
20
a lot.
minutes.
Called
He said
people-
like nothing the entire debate. He was totally worthless. Ethan Klein was a bit virtue signaling and didn't have any of the research done, but he was only able like to hang in that debate because the person defending gambling was somebody who admitted he had a massive gambling addiction and was $1.7 million in debt, having to stream to pay it off.
Oh, that's so funny.
That's the guy defending it. That's like hearing like why we should make like the drinking, like the blood alcohol content to be arrested for a DUI like higher from a guy who just killed an entire family.
Do you
like
get
at the
pussy?
scene.
Dude,
I like this idea that you can't do adult content once you've done video games.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little sick of it.
I mean, the thing is, like, there's a clip I can send you right now that's like really interesting because, like, basically Ethan backpedaled this point right initially from the fact that it was like a big thing for
kids. Yeah, they backed because they sounded like
they backpedaled two kids, but they were,
Yeah.
he was setting it up to be CS:GO Lotto, but when he didn't have the research done quite yet, he backpedaled to like, well, we all understand that gambling is wrong, right?
Yeah, we've all come. That's what they kept saying. Gambling's wrong. I guess.
Throw this clip on for 1 second. It's actually hilarious. It kind of ruins
working
his
on
whole
mobile.
argument.
I don't know why. Well, we might not do your video then if you don't figure it out, Prego. There we go. Ethan Klein, everybody. The voice, heart, soul, and morality of YouTube.
If you love sports, then there is no better way to make it more fun and exciting than DraftKings, the leader in one-day fantasy.
Wait a minute. What? This guy is something, man. We're always catching him and shit like this. I did not expect that at all. I didn't expect that. What an asshole. You think you like sports. You think you enjoy the purity of the game. But guess what? You never put money on it before. Make it mean something. Use code H3H3 right now and make your sport better than it was before.
Yeah, what year do you think this is from? 2017, 2018? What year?
Fucking jerk off.
It's 2020. It's last year. Like, this is
You
recent.
sure that's last year? Because remember, they went out of the States for, because I was on DraftKings in 2016. They cut everybody off.
No, it's 100% 2020. I actually have the. I got this from the episode this morning.
Oh yeah, that background. That's definitely 2020.
Don't forget, use code H3H3. Let me tell you
That's the
something,
COVID lockdown
Ethan.
background, yeah.
I drafted Ovechkin, and I worked it, so I took Crosby, and I end up winning $10,000. You believe that?
Listen
That's
to a
great,
little bit
huh?
of the pitch. It's so nice. It's such a good pitch.
Oh, really?
See sports. To add to this week's excitement in sports, DraftKings has millions of dollars in total prizes up for grabs. And if you have not tried DraftKings yet, head to the App Store now, because you don't want to miss this. This is how it works, okay? It's simple. You pick your lineup, you stay under the salary cap, you see how your team stacks up against the competition. Nothing adds to the excitement of watching the game quite like having a shot at millions of dollars in prizes. DraftKings has paid out billions of dollars to winners since 2012, so they know a thing or two about cold, hard cash. Fantasy sports actually seems really fun. It makes me wish that I cared about sports. Because I hear people who do it, they have like all the, it's like so crazy. They have all these leagues with their friends and these fantasy sports teams.
Yeah, it's called being a man, Ethan. Try it sometime, douchebag.
And it seems like even more fun than the actual game. I feel like people just watch sports so they can do their fantasy teams now.
It's true. I've got several.
Yeah, they have gambling problems.
Yeah, it's so great. That's so great, dude. That was great. I think Tap sent me that last night. Holy shit, dude. It's like, all right. So if you go the scam route, I think Ethan still wins that pretty definitively, but he has to prove it's a scam. If you just consider like the regular like gambling is bad route, I don't disagree. I'm sorry, I don't agree with Ethan's take that like you just can't promote gambling at all because it's like a moral bad.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the only thing XQC brought to the conversation was that like, yeah, it's okay to take sponsorships for people doing fucking Fireball Fridays and shit like that, drinking on stream, but I'm not allowed to gamble. Like, what the fuck? Dude, when you're sitting here saying like gambling is objectively bad, we all agree on that, and then you get a DraftKings ad, you're probably a piece of shit.
Yeah, well, this is a good, like, it's getting to the point where it's like saying Keemstar's bad. We find, you know, we can find a million things Keemstar's done bad over the years, but this guy is constantly contradicting himself. I mean,
do you kind of feel good because you're watching Twitch get fucked by this guy after they like promoted him for so many like last year or whatever? All these Twitch streamers were like, "Yeah, dude, fuck Leafy. Content new Keemstar was great. We got to clean up his platform. I love the H3 podcast, dude. Frenemies is amazing." And now like immediately XQC and Trainwrecks are getting into huge fucking fights with him. I think that's kind of funny. I hope he fucks Asmongold over next. That'd be great.
Isn't Asmongold in trouble in the? What's going on with that World of Warcraft thing? Like Asmongold, they're so mad at Asmongold.
Good. Fuck that guy too. Oh my god.
I wish somebody could tell me about that horse shit.
I have no idea what that.
Let's talk to Extreme Dad. Extreme Dad, you're on the air. What do you have to say, buddy?
I actually have a lot to say. I want to start with the gambling thing really quickly, though, and then I want to get to the Onision thing. I'll bring it back around. Okay. First of all, I think that Nick is completely wrong about the.
It's funny. Nick is always wrong, and you end up looking stupid at the end of this conversation.
Okay, well, just hold on.
Put one in the chat if you think this will happen again.
I actually feel really passionately about this because, you know, I myself have been addicted to gambling before. Lady Luck.
Oh, wait a minute. So let me get this straight. You have experience being a loser, so we have to listen to you. Get me out of here. Go.
You don't have to listen to me, but I'm just giving you my opinion on why I think Nick's wrong for the DraftKings thing. So Ethan promoting
with Nick. That's interesting. So what did Nick say wrong?
Wait, I just want to hear what he said.
All right.
Nick saying that Ethan Klein promoting DraftKings, he's being a hypocrite, or that's in any way comparable to Trainwrecks and XQC playing a internet-based slot machine.
The fuck? They have the same odds, douchebag. They have the same odds. They have the same odds of a one-armed bandit.
All right, no. Don't even engage with that argument. I just want to hear what he has to say.
Hold on. But at the same time, you also said that gambling. You acted like promoting gambling isn't bad, but but no matter what, no matter how you look at it, Trainwrecks and XQC are actively hurting every single person that watches that stream. Like, there is nothing gained, and there is so much harm being done by them sitting there and playing slots on stream. Like, there is so much damage being done by that.
Good.
And like me personally, like I know that like. Well, anyway, continue. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, so basically my problem with your argument is that, yes, you're absolutely correct if you didn't watch the stream, and your takeaway is that, like, these scammy gambling sites are objectively worse than DraftKings. I'm not going to argue with you on that. The problem is Ethan couldn't prove they were a scam and backpedaled saying that, like, gambling in general is bad.
But that, in fairness, that wasn't his argument.
Wait, what?
That wasn't fucking, he wasn't defending H3. He's actually just going after you. I'm working with his argument, what he just said. So I'm not arguing that what Ethan did is comparable or worse than what Trainwrecks and XQC promoted. I'm arguing that he came out and said gambling is bad and you shouldn't promote gambling when he has a DraftKings sponsor that's literally gambling on his own thing. So he obviously didn't go back to check it. Ethan Klein shows up to debates with an entire news team behind him researching everything everyone around him actually did. So I would say it's a pretty big oversight that he didn't realize he's promoted gambling on his own podcast previously. That's my argument.
But do you think that the situations are comparable? Do you see him as saying that like gambling is bad? Do you think that he's talking about the DraftKings side of things? Like, I feel like that's kind of a different.
He's talking about like the whole situation with like if you win, you're getting this effect on your brain, like the what is it called? Effect. It's the same effect. It's literally like it's gambling. Like you're putting money on something. You're betting on it. Listen. Let me ask you something. I'll be nice to you because you've been really good. I'm going to apologize to you because you've been actually totally reasonable in this one. I'm just waiting for you to do something dumb, but you haven't done it yet. Really, what's the difference? I mean, I've heard stories about people losing you couldn't make a mortgage payment over DraftKings, and I've heard stories about people doing it over slots.
Here's the difference, is that when I hear, and this is just anecdotal, this is me personally, how it affects me. When I see Ethan Klein promote DraftKings, I'm not in any way triggered. There's no there's no part of my brain that makes me want to gamble.
So what if it's you?
That's not the point. My argument is his reasoning behind why gambling on Twitch in general is bad is because, quote unquote, kids can see it, and that could be really damning for them. So at the same time, every time you go to a sporting event, every time you walk in through Times Square, every time you go basically anywhere, you're seeing these gigantic billboards for DraftKings, and you're seeing the sports. But like the sports are connected now to DraftKings.
No, but it's not true
because it's like an easier walking on point from a hockey fan.
No, you said that though. That walking on point though is watching Trainwrecks do a $200 spin and win $100,000 or win $1 million. See, because people are never.
You're trying to make it like a competition between which point of gambling is worse.
I know. It's just semantic. My turn. All right. Why is gambling bad? Because people could, lose all their money to it, correct?
Oh, we didn't even get to that.
Okay, hold on. Let me finish. Let me do it, though. Like, why is gambling bad? Can we all agree that it's because you could throw your whole life away and throw money down the toilet? Dad, are you on board with that? No?
That's one of the reasons.
Okay, let's just stick with that. Do you agree with that reason? I want to stay on track here. Do you agree with that reason? Yes or no?
Sure.
Okay, so what's the difference if you do it over slots or fucking with DraftKings?
That's a lot of money, I guess.
They're different levels of addictive.
No, do you have any evidence to back that up? Because I doubt you could back that up because it's both gambling. Levels of addictiveness. Okay, you're gonna have to come up with a study or something like that, and you can't say, "Well, I find slots more addictive than, and therefore everybody else is." That's not true. Some people find sports gambling more addictive.
You can make an argument that you lose more money in sports gambling than slot machines.
Okay, but here's the thing: what does that have to do with anything? XQC
because you're saying it's worse. You're saying one's worse than the other. You're the one that has entered the semantic debate that one's form of gambling is worse than another. Therefore, he's not a fucking hypocrite. That's your argument, and that's where it just completely falls apart.
I'm saying that like him being a hypocrite is not relevant. Like he's a hypocrite, I'm sure.
That's not what you said before. Now that's not what you said before.
We moved a little bit there.
Yeah, you moved the goalpost.
You brought up 2 points. One, that Ethan wasn't being a hypocrite, and 2 was that gambling is bad. So like,
no. Here's my thing. is that his argument against, like what he said to Trainwrecks and XQC about gambling being bad, and his entire argument isn't invalidated by him having a DraftKings sponsorship.
It totally is.
Yeah, I definitely think it is.
It totally is.
But like,
now we're doing a circle because you said before, and then you changed your mind that DraftKings is somehow less fucking addictive. You've suggested that.
All right, so for the addiction thing, like there are like tons of things that are like negative to your body that you're regularly exposed to all the time. Most of these streamers, I think almost every YouTuber ever spoken to smokes cigarettes, most of which do it on their streams and stuff like that. That's extremely fucking common to see people smoke cigarettes on streams. Tipster gets belligerently drunk for donations. No offense to Tipster. He gets like belligerently drunk for donations on a lot of his streams and stuff like that. As long as he doesn't throw up, it's totally fine. Right? So like there are like a lot of things that you could be exposed to. And forgive me, this might be a little offensive to you in particular, but like when I see all these specific situations of all these people getting addicted to all of these different substances, I mean, every time you get into a car, you're risking getting into a car accident that kills you. Every time you get onto a plane, you're risking like the plane fucking malfunctioning, however small that percentage is. Every time you go to a casino, you're risking losing all your fucking money. Every time you go to the bar, you're risking drinking, and then if you get too drunk, maybe you drive home at night. There's a lot of stuff that's wrong with a lot of people, and one thing is impulse control, and if you have an impulse control problem, that really shouldn't affect how I conduct my live stream. That's
you should not promote, like, here's the thing, is you are going to destroy lives promoting gambling.
Oh, shut up! So does Budweiser every single year.
Unfortunately,
Grandma.
Exactly.
Dude, when we get into arguments about all these things, like involving like you know, but like when we get into all these arguments and stuff like that, well, I don't cater to this because kids have parents. Parents should like jump in. I don't cater to this because you should be able to do this. You should be able to do that. For some reason on gambling, there's like a huge circle jerky take or whatever that like I have to work my entire show about somebody's impulse control problem that I really don't give a fuck about, and I never
shouldn't be playing something that is designed.
I can't listen to this.
Well, then you should contact your local congressman and try to get it banned like countrywide, because the fight for this whole situation, this fight for gambling, doesn't happen on Twitch.tv. It happens in like courts and getting like everything banned. Like that's realistically how you stop people from losing money gambling. Is you destroy the whole industry.
How about this? How come when can you be responsible for what the fuck you do? Gambling is legal in certain parts of the United States. DraftKings is apparently legal. So is poker. All of them can destroy your lives, but they can't do it somehow. And here's another thing. Twitch doesn't necessarily say we are child-friendly entertainment. No, all the streamers curse like fucking sailors. And they all talk about sex, and they're all running around like jackasses, like big Hollywood fucking fuckboys. I mean, and then
dude,
but they can't gamble.
Of this energy about people who are promoting OnlyFans links and shit like that through their Twitch and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Like
pornography.
All these huge Twitch streamers have OnlyFans links
I
has probably
tell
just as much age
Twitch
verification as these slot sites.
Twitch is going back to Justin TV. Let's be honest. Twitch has never been aimed at children. Never. Not even going back to Justin TV. It was always aimed at teenage gamers and above. Always. Always. It's never been for kids. Ever. And if you're going to sit there and say that all fucking video game content's game for, you want to talk about barking up the wrong fucking tree, wake up YouTube. Yeah. Then do it. And he's just repeating himself and moving the goalposts, and I can't fucking stand it.
It's just crazy. It's like, well, YouTubers aren't responsible for their audience. YouTubers aren't responsible for this. YouTubers
but they're responsible for that.
For like hundreds of thousands of people every single week, they're able to responsibly go to a casino in one weekend and play some games and go home and not have an issue with that. Unfortunately, and the same thing with mobile apps and like whales who keep the mobile game market afloat, there are some people with extreme impulse control problems who aren't able to handle it.
And we have to run our whole lives.
Sucks, dude.
I've been able to gamble responsibly my whole life. So I have to I have to have Lex access to gambling, because somebody has impulse control problem. I do have to have less access to booze. That was the whole thing behind the goddamn prohibition. I have to have less access to booze because the jackass next door can't fucking feed his family because he's such a fucking drunk. How's that my problem? You know?
These are like legitimate like casino games too. This isn't like CS:GO Lotto where you're betting on like video game skins. That's like a better argument. And I would argue that like betting over sports is like an easier thing to jump on to. Like from
that CS:GO Lotto was the most degen shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
and I've done
but
some
on top of all
shit.
this, like you have to understand, like they're arguing about age verification last night. I mean, I bet OnlyFans has less verification than some of these websites that they're arguing about.
Really?
But it's like if you bypass age verification and the site has like a flaw or something that kids are getting onto, because I know what like crypto and shit like that, I have to send my bank information, I have to fucking give them my social security number on some of these wallet sites. I don't know the fucking protocol for every one of these gambling sites.
Pain in the ass.
But I assume that you need like an ID and all this shit. Like there is a barrier. 16-year-olds are not easily accessing these fucking websites, right?
Yeah.
Like obviously you have to jump through some hurdles to get there. Odds are your parents' credit card has to be snatched at some point, or you have to grab a driver's license, or somebody has to give you permission and stuff like that. If you're doing that, obviously there's a degree of separation from me streaming about it or talking about it on a live stream and your parents fucking up royally and giving you access to funds you never should have had in the first place. So that's not my problem. That's actually your problem, and I don't really think I should be held
accountable. Actually, you know what? I am pro kids doing drugs, gambling, and ruining their lives. Easier for my kids to step over them. I'm so sick of being lectured by the 700 Club fucking generation fucking millennial and Z. Go fuck yourself. Stop trying to stop trying to fucking kindergartenize the planet. Like, get the fuck out of here.
I think where Ethan really fucked up is when he tied it to gambling in general, because that opens the door for these kinds of DraftKings comparisons. Because odds are, if you find out these websites are totally fucking scams, hey dude, nobody disagrees with that. If this is CSGO gambling too, where like this whole thing is like nobody's getting paid, these are all owned by people who are now paying people to promote it. Like, oh god, one of the worst fucking parts of the debate last night, Tommy, you weren't there for it. Yeah. So Trainwreck says, I'm $1.9 million in debt over my games or whatever. Good. But this website pays me $1 million a month to play. The reason that what I do isn't as bad as what other people do is because Aiden Ross gets paid $5,000 intervals for a specific amount of time, and he only uses that money to gamble. So Aiden Ross isn't risking anything by playing. He's just showing the upside of it, and he keeps 20% of his winnings. Whereas I am being paid a flat rate, and what I lose is real.
Oh my God!
Here's the problem, dumb fuck. If you're $1.9 million or $1.8 million in debt, the site is so confident that you're going to put that $1 million back in, you might as well just be playing with their money.
Nothing, yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, like, oh my god, yeah, dude. Obviously, you could spend that $1 million.
So basically,
but I'd probably spend it on my fucking crippling debt.
Trainwreck's told the world that he's more than likely a fucking serious cokehead, but he actually gambles big money without a bankroll.
That's what he's like, yeah, dude, they pay me $1 million a month, but currently I'm like in debt over $1 million.
That guy was always
basically
burn. Trainwreck
being paid to play. It's like that's what happens.
It's just the perfect fucking name for that guy.
Dude, he's like, well, they lose money on me. I'm like, I don't think they actually.
No,
I feel like you're just giving it back to them. Maybe they lose money in tax.
I don't care. I don't care if those guys are doing gambling. They're allowed to have adults out. They're allowed to switch their contents. And if your kids get hooked on gambling, fuck you. I mean, really, fuck you. Like, when are we all responsible? Oh, Jesus. Yeah, God. John Bond Zombie, you're on the air. Say something interesting. I'm getting irritated. All right. You fucked up. Nicolades, you're on the air. Go.
Hey there.
How are you, sir?
That we should keep all kids out of the internet if we want to not have these people all the time baby them. Want to baby them all
I got to be honest with you. I have another conspiracy theory about the babyization. I think government wants that. And you start on levels like this where everybody have fucking leg and you just get used to it. So you grow up your whole life. You're never expected to be a fucking adult. So you slip right into authoritarianism because it's all you ever known. And that's one thing I learned when I was a kid. Like I remember when I turned 18, I was out of school. I never knew a world that didn't have, where I wasn't attached to some kind of institution, right? And it's kind of scary. You know, it's you know, there's a lot of demand there. And but I mean, I'm getting more and older. I get they don't want you because you're easy. It's just like Carlin said. They want people. They don't want smart people. They don't want people to critically think. They don't want to be because they don't want to be questioned. They want you to be just smart enough to turn the cog and turn the wheel just ever slightly and enough so you'd shut the fuck up. And that's the thing. So when we do this whole kind of show, well, you can't say this, and you could hurt this group's feelings, or you know, like for the children, it's just a way to fucking bring it under authoritarianism and have you not notice. Because if you're a kid and you know you're treated like a child, and then you never have the chance to fucking fail after point 18, you don't know anything's different. It's just like you just gone through your whole fucking life.
Piggybacking slightly off of that, if we cater everything to children, right?
Thank you.
If we make the whole thing about children, then what happens, dude? You lose the ability to fucking.
You're not an
you
adult
lose the
anymore.
ability to play poker on Twitch. Now adults can't play poker on Twitch anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, come on, bro. Fuck it.
We
Yeah,
ban
dude,
all
bans...
those anime girl games that are basically gambling.
I'm okay if they wipe away. I don't care if they're scams or not. Actually, I don't know. I'm okay if they kind of wipe away the crypto websites that are like super sketchy from like third world countries.
Sure.
I feel like you could probably safely.
Hey, you know what? And that shit will get
It's not
straightened out over time
gambling
anyway.
off
It's
Twitch.
so new. I mean, look at bad thing. It was what's the name? I had a problem with it.
As long as
Dad. No, what's his name? What's his name comes in? Dad, exceptional dad, whatever the fuck his name is. He comes in and goes, "I had a problem with it." And it's like that's the last thing I would say. Like, you're the last person who should have an opinion. Like, you can't control yourself. Like, what? That's like Mikey Perk going to fucking having a class about parenting.
Jesus Christ, Tom.
Yeah, you heard me. Yeah. How to keep an eye on your kids.
See my timeline campaigning to get McDonald's taken down because Nick has bad impulse control. Okay.
Nico,
how many app games have in-game purchases that they're shoving at the face? Like, let's say I play one of these games, CSR2, let's say. Here, buy a pack to get a minimal amount of money that will do absolutely nothing. But
I'm glad you brought that up.
$30, $40, $50, $60. I've seen $200 pack dollars. I mean, those things are rated 3 years plus. I mean, what the fuck,
dude? Really good point on that one. While I was watching this last night, just to be a douchebag, I was taking shots every time XQC spoke, and I was gambling every time he said something for an extended period of time. So I opened NHL Ultimate Team, and I didn't pull a single player over a 90, $200 deep. That was my reaction.
I'm sorry, I just totally zoned out because Extreme Dad wrote in the chat, I am addicted to gambling. Who cares? I don't care. Grow up. Fix your problem. I was addicted to heroin. Stop doing it. It's not easy. I know. Good luck. I don't care. I don't care if you can't. I don't have to run myself or my life around your crazy ass. If you don't, nobody knows how to adult, and everybody's really comfortably told what to do, and they want to be in kindergarten for life. So be it. But I don't, and that means you lag behind.
Survival of the fittest, I believe. Put a
one in the chat if you want to be an adult one day. No, you can't put that Extreme Dad.
Dude,
because you clearly don't want it.
Group of people you could remove agency from first. Yeah. That's really it. Like everybody who's not like it's removing agency, so you have an argument to make. That's really it. Nobody's allowed to think.
Some people want to grow up. I want to grow up.
This is the problem we have with everybody calling everybody a pedophile over here. I mean, can the 16-year-old think, you know what, this guy's a creep. I don't want to associate with him. I know many people who see other people on the internet as creeps, but suddenly we have to cater to that fucking dumb bitch that suddenly tried to shake her ass on camera.
I don't like Bloods or Crips.
Yeah, it's weird that all these huge YouTubers and stuff like this are talking about like the dangers of gambling and stuff like that because like, oh my god, you can just log in on any of these sites or whatever and just like bypass the age verification, and like none of them have a problem with all the streamers who are promoting OnlyFans or any of the sexual content that was on Twitch. Like that, dude, you're just being cringe. Just let them watch, dude. And then everything else is just like, holy shit, dude. They might be able to they might get a gambling addiction in fucking 7 years, dude. They're fucked. Holy shit, dude.
2 or 3 years.
Gambling positivity in the chat. Yeah, let's see more of that. All right, Nico, you have anything else to say? I want to bring in Billy the Fridge.
Billy the Fridge is in there?
Yeah.
Billy the Fridge.
Oh shit.
All right, thanks for the call. Billy the Fridge, how are you? Hello, sir.
Billy, you're on.
Billy, how are you?
Hello. Is this 9/11 non-emergency?
It is fun.
Hello, my name is Gregory James Jackson, and I have children in my teaching them internet gambling.
Yeah.
I want $10 million for internet gambling to the children in my basement, please.
Where are you? You took a lot of shit from this fucking crew a year and a half ago. Where are you
one of the calls was about Billy.
They're psychotic.
That was great. Of that Karen woman being like,
"You shouldn't
this man just drove on private roads, ma'am. These roads look."
Do you feel bad for apologizing?
No, Billy's on private roads.
Do you wish you hadn't apologized a year ago, half ago?
An apology?
Yeah, you kind of apologized for going over there and all that other shit.
Of course, yeah. I went on an entire apology tour because donations were coming in.
Dude, I watched that apology tour. It was great.
Was I sorry that I went to Onision's house and did like goofy shit in front of his house? That's why I went there.
Yeah.
Like, what was I sorry that people thought I was going to kill Onision? Like, literally, they thought they were mad because we didn't kidnap his kids to save his children. It was so stupid.
Let me ask you
My
something.
sincerest apologies for not kidnapping his kids. I know I should have done that through ethics or whatever and morals.
Wait, let me put you on the spot a little bit. You don't have to answer it. Do you think now that you've seen the case closed and the fact that a majority of the girls and only one really cooperated in a semi-meaningful way, do you think the whole thing's bullshit?
Here's what I think.
Okay.
I think that there's a history of Onision having horrible relationships with people, and the more childish you are, the more you're gonna feel like you were abused by his just who he is.
He's just a creep. He's just a jerk off. You know. That's all
He's hurt a lot of people that I'm friends with. He's hurt a lot of people that I'm not friends with, and he's been hurt by a lot of people. I feel like he acts a lot of the way he does because he's just waiting for the next person to fuck
him over. Welcome to YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, like, I get all that, but it's just like, I mean, that's being a jerk. You have a right, like a God-given right, to be a jackass and have bad relationships and be an asshole. And to be honest with you, I think he's paid a pretty heavy price for being the asshole that he is. But I don't know if you have a right to be pinned on a fucking like a rape stuff. I don't think that's right. Yeah.
Imagine that there's no like crime against you, and Discovery Channel makes multiple episodes about you and compares you to people who kidnapped actual underage girls and held them in a freaking cavern for days until the police found them to release them.
And they put that in the fucking documentary.
Yeah, I know.
It was one whole episode about somebody else fucking tying children up in a basement.
Yes, and then they show all these clips of like scripted content of him with people. Because his content, it's if you believe it all, it's pretty horrible, but it's his creativity. It's like if you enjoy it, that's probably just as bad. But if you believe it, it's terrible. It's so bad.
Are you going to go back to being friends with him after all this they got this information? They really have nothing on him?
It wasn't the information that made me distance myself from him necessarily. Like the Sarah stuff was like I was like, dude, like there's nothing you're saying right now that's making me feel any more comfortable about this.
Yeah, everything he says about that made me a bit more queasy.
Yeah, we had a like literally like the day everything came out, I was set to go to his house and film with him, and I went there after like I got there after midnight. I was like doing the podcast I do, and I just went way long. We went like 5 hours long on the podcast, so I was like whatever, let's drag this out because I really don't want to go to Onision's tonight and deal with all this shit. But I had friends that were already there, and I was like, I kind of committed to it. So I went there after midnight. We just hung out for a little bit, and when I woke up, I had like this big conversation with him. And by the end of the conversation, you know, I
you weren't satisfied with his answers or something, right? I don't know.
I could believe everything he said, and still like understand that he continually treats people in a way that makes them feel like they aren't like treated fairly. You
but
know?
He's not a criminal.
I can't find a crime. I waited for a crime to come out after everything was accused of him. I sat and I waited. By the way,
I want to be clear. I am not calling you I'm not even suggesting that I'm calling you a disloyal friend. You know.
Oh yeah, you can call me a disloyal friend. I don't care. I had to do what I had to do based on the information I had. I really don't care.
Forget the criminal aspect of this. All right, you can like I've blown people off and pushed them out of my life because they made me uncomfortable. I thought they were a bad influence on me, or I didn't like what they're doing to their own lives or whatever. And I didn't.
There were multiple friends that we shared that he had cut out of his life.
Gotcha.
In a very like shitty way, and I think he tried to cut me out on a few occasions. But because I'm not a I don't know, because I'm not a immature person.
Yeah.
I was like, hey man, yeah, like I respect that. If you feel that way, thank you for hanging out with me. I had good times. And then he's like, well, that didn't blow up the way I thought it would. So he like re-entered back into a friendship with me. You know, I think he gives people this opportunity to prove to him that they don't care about him, type of thing. It's like it comes from a place of insecurity.
Yeah.
I got one of those. He went on a live stream insinuating that me and Keemstar were pedophiles. So yeah, I didn't talk to him.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, Nick did a lot of good things for him, and he doesn't even know him. And you know, then he makes some pedophile. He just that seems like the pattern with this guy. You know.
But it's kind of hard not to want to stand up for him when you see how many people are just completely like
no, I agree,
profiting off of this and lying and twisting it. But it's like then you go to bat for him and you're like, shit, like.
Well, see, I'll be honest, I don't like the son of a bitch.
Part of the problem.
I haven't liked him longer than I've known all of you in this room. Probably everybody in the chat. I've never liked the son of a bitch because I used to watch Repsion way back in the day, and Repsion just made me hate his guts. You know, and
Repsion's made a lot of money off this too.
Yeah, I know. Back in the day, you know what really pissed me off about Onision is he kept on changing, like moving the goalposts on the debate that he was going to have with the Repsion, like back in 2013. Yeah, and it really made me hate his guts. Like he's a perfect villain.
He'll lawyer everything. He'll never admit to anything. He's really good at that.
There is not an honest bone. He's the most disingenuous debater in fucking world history. Yeah.
He was always straight to me when I asked him something. You know, he wouldn't give me bullshit. He'd give me his answer, and I wouldn't always agree with it. But I'd be like, okay, I at least see where you're coming from.
Yeah, but
he was always good to me. That's why I had a hard time breaking away from him.
Your relationship was with Greg. It clearly wasn't, because you've told me stories about him, and then when I saw you guys interact on that famous day, you guys looked like a couple bros, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he looked like he really missed you too. I could really see that in his body language. He was really happy to see you.
He's had so many like blow ups with friends. Like I've seen him look back on like the way he handled things with Sear. And he
oh god, yeah,
misses Sear type of thing. You know, he misses all these people he's had connections with, and I think he blames himself rightfully for a lot of the breakups. But also, he's like he knows those bridges are burned.
Yeah,
he's a very complex human being. That was one of the most interesting things about him. You know, just being able to see him in action, what was real, what people said about him, and what was maybe a little misconstrued.
I was surprised how dude bro-y he kind of was with you. I always pictured him being like no fun at all. I gotta be honest with you. So he must be fun.
No, he's a weird type of fun.
Is he?
He's
but yeah, I remember feeling
really down, like he's a very creative person. He just likes to play pretend.
Because I remember, I'll never forget when he kind of ran up to you, and the other guy, I can never remember his name.
Joe was with
the guy who pulled a gun on fucking what's his name? Back.
Joe with the knife.
Yeah, and I just, that was about the time when I was starting to get a little suspicious about the allegations. I wasn't there yet, and I was cashing on the shit myself on my second channel, and like I go, boy, if this guy's innocent, and you had told me that you're moving away from him, it's kind of sad to watch a friendship break up like that, you know. I mean, it wasn't the Onision that I was like. I just picture somebody that's like kind of feminine with the way they deliver their speech and waving their hands around. And he's just he's a short dude that's kind of dude bro-y, you know. And I was like, whoa,
he's like 5'10". He's not that short.
He looks short to me. I mean, because
I'm tall.
How tall are you? You're like 6'5".
I'm like 6. Me and Joe.
I always forget how tall you are. I just think you're big. You're not even that big.
Yeah, we're just the picture of him in court didn't do him justice.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the one I know they shrunk that one douchebag. I mean, come
on. Billy, could I ask you a quick question?
Of course.
Shiloh, you were one of the first people kind of Shiloh went after in the community. Do you feel vindicated that she's been basically proven to have bad faith and acted with bad intentions?
I knew I have a friend who was like close friends with Shiloh also, and they kind of bonded over being herded by Onisions or whatever. And they had a falling out before it went public. And then when she came after me, it was more of the same. I was I was happy to see her go after like Nick because the
you knew it was coming
behind him and like Nick didn't back down. I was like, okay, good, finally. That Angela girl that got attacked, like all that stuff was really, really fucked, and it just shows that like these are the type of people that get involved with this. They're just immature
kids,
kind of rotten apples, and it sucks because you want to defend people when you feel like they've been hurt, and nobody wants to defend Onision.
No one.
Like it's like, what's the point, right? He's always going to go back to doing what he does. He's always going to be a shit stirrer.
Yeah.
And it's like that was one of the big things with me is like I stood up for him for years because I was like, look, you guys are just wrong about all this. Like this is like you guys want to make him the monster. And you know, he's not the monster.
You saw that before everybody else. I just didn't like the son of a bitch. You know, I mean, just as a person,
he's very unlikable.
Yeah.
He's just like in person, you know, he was very sweet and kind and very giving. And I was like, damn, you know, maybe this is part of the manipulation, but I'm also, you know, not a little kid, so I can enjoy it.
I don't care if part of the no one deserves to be tagged with maybe creep, sex creep. I can go for that, but nobody deserves to be tagged with sex predator. When the people that are accusing you won't even work with the police. I think that's fair.
Yeah, people want him to be all the bad things, right? So they don't care about the police reports. They don't care about due process.
Yeah, no, they don't care about anything. I do. I care a lot about it.
Yeah,
because,
you should care. You should care.
Like,
and you should like whether or not he did any of this and is guilty of anything from a law standpoint. You should definitely not want to engage in a relationship with Onision if you're a young woman. Based on track records, it's probably not going to end well. You're not going to be the one to change him.
Yeah.
Maybe stop that. But
you know, you'll be dating him, and next thing you know, you want to be a guy. You know, who needs that? You know. All right, Billy. Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm gonna do. You
guys have a good one.
Okay, take care, Billy. Bye.
Later.
Billy Fridge, everybody. Some insight onto the Onision. Billy always makes. Billy is one of the. You know, Matt, that was your first Billy the Fridge call, right? Since
right.
You've been,
yeah.
Like he's called in and like taken over the show. He's been so funny.
Yeah,
I gotta
try getting him on as a guest host or something. He's really good.
Yeah, I don't know why. I always wonder. Well, it's time. Yeah, it's about time.
Because you know he has drunken peasants and stuff. So.
Well, I'm going on drunken peasants real soon. I know that.
Okay, cool.
That's a forged relationship forever. I think.
Oh yeah.
Those guys have always been good to me, and I'm gonna be as good to them as I ever can be. I'll just real quick calls. I wouldn't call it rapid, but go Purple Midnight. Get to the point, and we're getting out of here. Shoot. Purple Midnight.
Purple Midnight, you're on.
What do you got? All right. Regenerator 66. Go.
All right. Have you seen the California state government filing a lawsuit against Activision and Blizzard for?
I quote tweeted it. I made a joke and I had to take it down because apparently some girl killed herself. I don't fucking know. You know.
Yeah. Oh, God, you gotta take away your Twitter, bro.
I think that was funny. I still think it's funny. The only reason I fucking took it down is like, would you have tweeted that if? Would I have tweeted that if I'd known about the suicide girl, right? And I probably not. I probably wouldn't have done that. But you know, perfectly honestly, I think it's funny and I don't care. How about that? All right,
some fucking freak YouTuber put up a retweet going, "Re-Activision lawsuit. If you're cisgender and a white man in the gaming industry, do not let yourself participate in a tweet of, gosh, the industry needs to change. Change it today.
Okay.
Share your salary and stock options with marginalized people of color and gender." I'm like, okay, dude. Why are you piggybacking off of a dead girl? You're a piece of shit. Then he keeps going. It's like, make sure the companies add pronouns.
Call.
Sure, go ahead.
As for the Onision call, I must say that call was unfreaking believable. Get it from Halo.
I get what you did there.
What was you doing? Unbelievable.
Yeah,
that's like it's a Halo medal.
Oh, unbelievable.
Yeah. And as for the gambling, I must say like. If like the person is like promoting like websites like CS:GO Lotto or some shit like that similar, I say like it must be taken down. It must take to action.
Yeah. Thanks for the call.
Immediate.
I disagree. I promote as much gambling. I'm so sick of fucking this world we live in. I'm so sick of it. His whole fucking job has become grandstanding and talking about fucking kids. Like, nobody can be a goddamn adult.
Yeah, the whole thing is promoting gambling to kids, but nobody's got analytics in their hand. They just assume if you have an online platform and I don't like you, your whole audience is kids.
Fuck off. Like, you mad? Can you think I like? Imagine I sitting there coming in. Tommy's getting, and he's watching like slots. He gets what the first thing comes out of my mouth. Turn that shit off. And if I catch you watching it again, you're in trouble. It's problem solved.
Yeah, I used to watch the Spanish channel because the girls would dance, and I got in trouble for that when I was.
I used Benny Hill. My parents had a fit over that when I was a kid. And there was too many titties for my parents to handle. And then they stopped going to church, and I could watch Benny Hill again. That literally happened. I'm not even kidding. Isn't that funny? I love the Benny Hill show. That's all it is it's the most low-end fucking titty humor, ass and TNA humor ever. It's great. Purple Midnight, last chance, and then we're throwing you off for good. All right, you don't even listen to the show then. Schmaggle, you're on the air. What do you want?
Hello. I'm Schmaggle.
Yes.
I just want to say Nicholas Diorio is a fucking piece of shit.
Why?
He insinuated that I called him a pedophile.
Oh, yeah?
I did.
Yeah. What? Genuine, stupid, dumbass.
Okay, so can you tell me what the positives were other than that of you sending me a tweet where you removed all of the context and just sent the reply where I said a 15-year-old can be developed?
Because I just wanted to ratio you with a funny tweet.
Okay, all right, but what is the point of posting that? What is most people's takeaways when they see a tweet with all of the context removed that says a 15-year-old can be developed?
That Nick made a very sus tweet. Like,
okay, it's a little sussy. All
yeah,
right.
it's a little
sussy.
It's a little sussy. Okay.
Yeah.
Sussy.
All right, so it's exactly what I called it.
Hey, Snaggle, I have a question for you. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How come my entire chat, like, this is the first time I think you called it? Is this the first time you called it?
Yeah, this is the first time I called in.
Like, why come everybody in my chat saying your brain dead?
Oh,
because I am.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, fair enough. Welcome aboard.
He got in this community because he managed to get onto a stream of Augie's and just harass him the entire time while he was live for about like 3 weeks. And then for some reason they kept inviting him to shit. And then over time, him being obnoxious has now forced his way into being like a well-known name. And my community, Augie's community, our podcast community, every single one of them, he brute forced his way into like being meta.
That's so funny. Congratulations, Snaggle. What do you have planned for your future, young man?
You're still fucking banned from my channel.
Yeah. Fuck you, Nick.
What do you have planned in your future? I imagine it's gonna be like a doctor or something, right?
Yeah, actually a zookeeper. Well, not zookeeper, but something in zoology. You know, I have a minor in it.
You're gonna minor
He's gonna be
zookeeping.
corralling lol cows.
Yeah.
Zookeeper.
I also have like a nuke plan.
Yes.
I don't know, maybe.
You want to blow up the world?
Yes.
So you're just an angry white guy that can't get laid.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. I guess.
You sound like a cartoon character.
Well, can you tell us your like full genetic makeup?
Well,
you're European, I can see, right?
Yeah, I'm half Italian, half Irish.
You're fucked already.
Yeah, I know.
Because you know when my ex-girl, I used an Italian girlfriend, right? And she was right off the boat, and she had this theory that people that were mixed, because I grew up in New Jersey, and Nick could probably, Nick, like where we grew up, it's like, you're Irish, Italian, Polish, Puerto Rican, or black, right? And everybody's Catholic, right? But my ex-Italian girlfriend used to have this theory that Irish and Italians made ugly babies. And she would point, when she saw like an O'Malley and a Diorio, she would say, look, their children are ugly, right? So is that what happened to you? Are you an ugly, half Irish, half Italian baby?
That's why I haven't shown my face in this community yet. So.
Because that's when it all goes downhill, right, Smaggle?
Exactly, yeah.
All right, Smaggle. Thanks for the call, buddy.
All right, no problem.
Bye-bye. He's got a list, too.
He's unironically kind of funny, to be honest.
He can be a little funny. He seems like if I had my own whack pack, I think I'd put Smaggle in there.
Nick was streaming once playing Fortnite, and Smaggle would not stop like entering the.
He was just joining session in progress. I didn't know how to set it up.
That's pretty funny, actually.
Dude, wait, the other thing is he was playing, what was Augie playing? Something on his Nintendo Switch. He didn't even know he had people added on there. And Smaggle had already joined as he was trying to figure out
was it Mario Party?
Yeah, he like joined his Mario Party. He goes, I didn't even know you could do that. What the fuck? He must have been doing this before I even fucking started trying to like make it invite only.
That's pretty fun.
Have you noticed money's down a little bit, Nick?
I've been told money's the opposite. I heard it's like insane revenue right now.
God, last 2 weeks been rough. Oh man. Well, I guess one of those weeks I made an error.
Yeah, I mean.
All right, let's go through this. One and done, rapid fire. Let's go. Agmar.
Hey, what's going on? By the way, Smaggle is fucking brain dead.
No, this rapid fire. Get to it.
All right, cool. So I was in VC with Smaggle one time. It's fucking awkward. Like I would sit there for like 5 minutes, and it was just him breathing, and then I'd be like, "Hey, Smaggle, what's going on?" And he'd be like, "Hey, Agmar."
All right, rapid fire. Next one. Last one for midnight. Perfect midnight. All right, that's good. Sniper lore, lone and done, rapid fire. Let's go. I will be in the pay chat after this, by the way. Go.
Sorry, let me mute the stream.
No, go talk.
Yeah. Sorry. Gambling completely pointless. If you have problems with gambling, just do it yourself. Take the action. If you don't want your kids to gamble, just tell them not to do it. Simple. Second of all,
Do you get pussy?
There was no second of all.
Tommy, do you know that there's
the grave of Einstein? You're on the air. Go. Step big and have a dollar. Only gamble it away. That's a good idea.
No, this one's blowing a bunch of people's radars. Did you see that Super Hot VR removed all the scenes of suicide from their game?
They did what?
They removed all the suicide scenes. Like, skip to certain scenes toggle was added in a previous update, and then this update, just yesterday, they removed all the scenes where you could, like, commit suicide.
I really got to not update. So you can't shoot yourself in the face anymore?
No. It's a big part of the story that, like, you know, like, it's kind of like a brainwashing program that's brainwashing you into submitting yourself and, like, to, like,
is it only Super Hot VR?
What?
That's the idea behind it, is to get you to kill yourself?
Yeah, that's like the plot line that goes.
So they ruined the whole
plot line.
Unbelievable. That's the game that I punched my monitor and had to get a new one over.
Yep.
It's fucking Super Hot. All right, thanks for the call, bud. All right, I'm done. I'm out of here. Fucking, I want to play Apex Legends actually no. Well, I could probably do that. Paid Discord chat going in right now. Thanks so much, everybody. It's been. I'm glad this weekend's over. I think I'll be doing rapid fire this weekend. They're promoting not killing yourselves in VR. Well, don't kill yourselves then. From Tommy C. Have a good one.
This is the almighty infinite, independent excellence. Devil fighting, rebel titan, weed smoking alchemist. Fake identities, okay, you cool with Jason Bourne. Running with these Wolverines, okay, you
that's a lot of money, I guess.
Girls aren't good at video games.
Head in my legs like she about to catch a pedigree.
Don't tell my shadow.
Spin fives, black stones, 6 mile to danger zones. Bullets look like waffle cones. Folk affiliated to
then they like pull some pro CSGO player out. I bet you with your ass.
They feel my struggle, I express it through my hip hop. I'm about to make it hard to breathe. Here's a headline.
Iron my shirt.